Rich, be a champion life. We just pulled into Malta, New York. We posted up for the night. Right behind this wall right here is Journeymen Wrestling. They're going to be in there banging tomorrow, wrestling and training and building young studs. Journeymen Wrestling's right behind that wall. Wrestling rooms like this saved my life from a desperation. Years of addiction. Years of making really bad choices, guys. When the world would not take me in because I was a stain on society because I lived the way I lived. The wrestling room, the wrestling community took me in, okay? I spent years, guys, years using drugs. I spent 7 years locked up in prison and jail. I was living at a homeless shelter in downtown Portland in 2003. 34 years old, trying to figure out what happened to my life. What happened to my life? What happened to that kid that dreamed about college, dreamed about wrestling, dreamed about a good life and a successful future? What happened to that guy? I was just like you guys, man, working hard in the wrestling room, man. And I used drugs for the first time, and it took me on a tailspin for 15 years, guys. You know, so when I tell you this can happen to anybody, I came from a good home. I came from a good family upbringing. I didn't come from drug addiction in my family. I didn't come from corrosion in my family. So when your ego kicks in and you think that can't happen to me and you're hanging out and, you know, finding yourself in a tough situation, just remember that today's drugs are way different than they were. I've been sober longer than any of you been alive, okay? Let me just make that clear. I haven't had a drink your whole entire life, okay? Unless somebody in here is over 20 years old. I got sober in that homeless shelter, guys. And the reason I stayed sober is because I went and found wrestling again. I'm 37 years old. I've been sober a couple of years, and I wondered if I could compete again. Can I be part of the wrestling team again? Because I remember how healthy and safe and awesome my life was when I was a part of the team back in high school. Here I am, 37 years old, man, trying to find my way and figure it out. Society wouldn't take me in, but the wrestling room did. And once I found my way to the wrestling room, I competed for 9 years. You know, and it helped keep me sober. It helped me stay safe. I restructured my life around the sport of wrestling. And so the value that this is bringing into your life is so much bigger than you know right now. But you're building a toolbox right now. From all your hard training, from your competition, from cutting weight, from coaches like Perry and coaches like me and coaches like Frank Pop, and from your parents for making sure you're here and looking after you and sharing information with you. Sometimes you say, that's just mom and dad. Well, you know what? I wish I'd have listened to my mom and dad when I was your age. I wish I'd have listened to that speaker that was telling me about some of the dangers and pitfalls that I could face if I went out and used drugs and alcohol. I wish I would have put value in some of those mentors in my life when I was your age. You know, I wish a guy like me would have been talking to me the way I'm talking to you right now. You know, wrestling saved my life, guys. I owe everything I have to the sport. I'm 52 years old now. I've been sober 19 years. I competed for 9 years. And now what I do is I travel around the country and I drop into clubs like this so I can talk to you athletes. I'm on a big national tour right now. I have a drug and alcohol awareness program. I'm going into schools all around the country this whole school year. And I couldn't wait to come back to upstate New York so I could touch down with these coaches that I've watched grow over the last 20 years. Some of you athletes that were in middle school probably remember me back in '09, you know, when you were little types and mini men with Sean Miller, you know. But, you know, the truth is you got to calculate some of the choices you're making moving forward, guys. You want to be a college educated, you want to go out in the workforce, you want to compete, you know, into your young 20s, you want to be a national champ, a state champ. You got to make choices outside the wrestling room that are going to help you do that. What I found is when I lived a positive life and I was making good decisions and I was sleeping good, eating good, staying sober, living and hanging out with good, positive people around me, I competed at a much higher level. I competed at a high level, guys. So if you want to be the very best version of yourself you can be, don't just do your best in here. Do your best outside the wrestling room. Do your best out there in life. And life's going to come at you. It's going to get hard, guys. I get it, man. These last 3 years have been tough, man. It's been tough on me emotionally and mentally, and I'm a pretty mentally tough cat, dude. I know it's been tough, and you got to work extra hard to stay focused and stay driven and stay inspired and keep moving, okay? So just all I'm going to say now is you guys think about some of the choices you're making out there. You want to be the best in here, you got to make good choices out there.